Hello guys, in this video we will learn all about variables and mutability in Rust programming language. So let's get started. First, let's have a look at the agenda for this video. We will start by discussing variables, then we will learn about constants, and at last we will see what is shadowing. So let's quickly open VS Code and get started. So in Rust programming language, variables are immutable by default. And this is one of many reasons that Rust provides us with an option to write code in such a way that takes advantage of safety and easy concurrency that Rust offers. However, if we want to make our variables mutable, we still have an option to do that. So when a variable is immutable, once we assign a value to that variable, we cannot change that value. To illustrate this, let's create a new project called variables in the Rust programming directory using cargo. So in your terminal, type cargo new variables and press enter. Now let's move to the newly created variables directory. So now we are inside the variables directory. Let's open the main.rs file inside the src directory and change the code inside the main function. First, let's install an extension called Rust Analyzer that provides Rust language support for VS Code. So let's go to the extensions tab in VS Code and search for Rust Analyzer. So this is the Rust Analyzer that we are looking for. Click on it and click on install. Once it gets installed, we have to close the VS Code and open it again. Now let's change the code inside the main function. So I will clear this out and type let x equal to 10 semicolon. So here I have created a variable named x and assigned it a value 10. Now let's print the value of x using the println macro. So write println x equal to x and semicolon. So now let's change the value of x to 20. So I will type x equal to 20 and let's again print the value of x. So save the program and run it using the cargo run command. So as you can see, we got an error message regarding an immutability error. So this is how Rust compiler helps us find errors in our programs. We have received an error message stating cannot assign twice to mutable variable x, because we tried to assign a second value to the immutable variable x. So this states that by default variables are immutable in Rust programming language. But what if we want to change the value assigned to variable in next steps of our program? So yes, we can make them mutable by adding mute keyword in front of the variable name. Adding mute also conveys intent to the future readers of the code by indicating that other parts of the code will be changing this variable's value. So now let's add mute before the variable x and run the program. So I will type mut here, and now as you can see errors have has gone out. So let's rerun this program. So as you can see, the program is successfully compiling and running. Now as we are using mute keyword, we are allowed to change the value bound to x from 10 to 20. Now let's discuss about constants. Like immutable variables, constants are values that are bound to a name and are not allowed to change. But there are few differences between constants and variables. First is that we are not allowed to use mute keyword with constants. Constants are not just immutable by default, but they are always immutable. We declare constants by using the const keyword instead of the let keyword. And also the type of the value must be annotated. Another difference is that constants can be declared in any scope, including the global scope, which makes them useful for values that many parts of our code need to know about. And the last difference is that constants may be set to a constant expression only, and not the result of a value that could only be computed at runtime. So let's quickly create a constant in our program. So I will create a constant, and now let's print the value of constant at last. Here the constant name is pi and its value is set to the result of dividing 22.0 by 7.0. Rust's naming convention for constants is to use all uppercase with underscore between the words. Now let's run the program using cargo run. So as you can see, value of pi has been calculated and displayed. It is also recommended that we should give a name to the hard-coded values used in our programs as constants, because it is useful in conveying the meaning of that value to future readers of the code. It also helps to have only one place in our code that we would need to change in case the hard-coded value is needed to be updated in the future. So that was all about constants. Now let's see what is shadowing. We can shadow a variable by using the same variable's name and repeating the use of the let keyword. Let's understand this by a simple example. First, let's clear out all the code inside this main function and write a new one. So first let me write the whole program and then I will explain it to you. So this program first binds the variable x to a value of 10, then it creates a new variable x. It creates a new variable x by repeating let x equal to x plus 10 statement, taking the previous value of x and adding 10 to it. So the value of x is now 20. Then within an inner scope created with the curly brackets, the third let statement also shadows x and creates a new variable which multiplies the previous value of x by 10 to give x a value of 200. And when that scope ends, the inner shadowing ends and x returns to being 20. Now let's run this program. So as you can see, x inside inner scope is 200 and x in outer scope is 20. So shadowing is different from marking a variable as mutable, because we will get a compile time error if we accidentally try to reassign to this variable without using the let keyword. The other difference between mute keyword and shadowing is that because we are effectively creating a new variable when we use the let keyword again, we can change the type of the value but reuse the same name. So let's see an example of it. So I will type let space is equal to 4 times space and another space is equal to spaces dot len. So in these two lines, in these two lines, the first spaces variable is a string type and the second is a number type. Shadowing thus spares us from having to come up with different names. Instead, we can reuse the simpler names again and again. However, if we try to use mute keyword for this, we will get a compile time error. So let's try it. Let me add mute over here and run the program. Let's clear it out and cargo run. So as you can see, the error says that we are not allowed to mutate the variable's type. So now we have explored how variables work in Rust, and that was all for this video. So that was all for this video. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe the channel for more such videos. Thank you.